ESPN presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. One of 3 games today. This is the consolation game as the team from Australia facing the team from South Dakota from lovely South Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Lamade Field, the site for all 3 games today, and our coverage on ESPN. Both of these teams, unfortunately, will be heading home after this, but hoping to end at least their trips on a winning note and on a positive note, as Australia is back here once again, and South Dakota, good to be here as well. Let's look at the division right now at a glance. In the division of Little League International, there's 16 teams overall. It's modified double elimination. The ages are 10 to 13 years of age. You cannot have turned 13 before May 1st of 2017. It's a 6-inning game, and it's 2/3 conventional field size and minimum mandatory play. Let's look at the road to the championship, brought to you by Subway. And Mexico upsetting South Korea 1-0. 1 hit allowed over their last 2 games. Marvelous pitching yesterday. Venezuela, a thrilling finale. Omar Romero, who is 4'8", off the pitcher who's 4'8", the 2 smallest guys. And Romero had the game-winning triple as Venezuela knocks off the DR 3-2. New Jersey bringing the power. Chris Kartnick's been unbelievable. The last 2 games, 27 runs, 30 hits, 5 home runs, as they've got 7 home runs overall at the Little League World Series. And Connecticut over Washington, because in the 4th and 5th innings, they were spectacular. 12 runs, 4 doubles, a triple, and a couple of home runs. So who will be joining us today? Well, not only some good baseball in the field, but that's right, we've got up-and-coming broadcasters from Michigan, from North Carolina, also from Team Canada, surprisingly 2-0, first time since 1998, and also a couple of kids from Texas as well. So in case Tim Kirkchin and me, Adnan Burke, had enough pressure on us already, these kids, they're ready to bump us, Tim. If we don't do a good job, they're going to take over and call the game, right?
Right, and we're going to have a height off, of course, with every one of the kids with me. One of the real thrills of my career.
As you said, you're here for rate and scale. If you were 6'3", you probably wouldn't be here at all. Consolation game. Of course, that term can be viewed as, non-exceptional, but it is important for these teams, particularly a team like Australia, to end on a winning note. That would be fabulous.
Right. It doesn't matter that it's a consolation game. They're playing at Lamade Stadium. Some of these kids will never get to play another game on a field as beautiful and as immaculate as this. And if a kid hits a home run here, he's going to be able to say for the rest of his life, I hit a home run at the Little League World Series. Plus, the South Dakota team, first-year team here. The strides they made have been unbelievable. And the Australian team, of course, they came 7,900 miles to get here. It took them 32 hours. I say let them play as many games as they want.
Which one of us will have a terrible Australian accent? You'll find out coming up. For Tim, I'm Adnan. We cannot wait for Australia and South Dakota, plus those future broadcasters in the booth for us. First pitch is on the way between South Dakota and Australia right after this.
Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, supporting youth sports in our community since 1948, and in part by the all-new Odyssey from Honda, official vehicle of Little League.
Alongside Tim Kirkchin, I'm Adnan Burke. It is great to have you with us for the first game of a triple header here on ESPN. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, taking on the team from Sydney, Australia. It is a consolation game, but of course both these teams would love to end their trip on a winning note. The team from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, population of 175,000. It's the largest city in South Dakota. The village of Sioux Falls was incorporated in 1876 and became a city in 1889. Sioux Falls Little League is in its first year of existence. So let's meet the team.
Hi, my name is Trace Eastman. My favorite baseball player is Mike Trout.
My name is Leo Huners, and my favorite player is Chris Bryant.
My name is Bo Giblin, and my favorite player is Bryce Harper.
Hi, my name is Sullivan Schlimgen, and my favorite player is Yadier Molina.
My name is Logan Boone, and my favorite player is Joel Mauer.
Hi, my name is Griffin Wilde, and my favorite player is Aaron Judge.
My name is Jackson Grahamgood, and my favorite player is Yasiel Puig.
My name is Cohen Henry, and my favorite player is Mike Trout.
My name is Jack Riddell, and my favorite player is Nolan Ryan.
My name is Ethan Bruns, and my favorite player is Miguel Cabrera.
My name is Bennett Dannenbring, and my favorite player is Miguel Sano.
My name is Mason Riley, and my favorite player is Andrew McCutcheon.
My name is Ty Knock, and one of my favorite players is Mike Trout.
My name is Marcus Phillips, and my favorite player is Javier Baez.
How about the young man who had Nolan Ryan as his favorite player? Well, maybe Stephen Courtney will emulate Nolan Ryan for the Australian team. 5'9", 139, goes by the nickname Steve-O, the 13-year-old, hoping to give the Aussies a win here at the Little League World Series. As Tim mentioned in the Open, they made quite a journey, 9,793 miles away. That's how far they traveled to Williamsport.
Right, they went from Sydney to LA to New York and then drove 4 hours here. So, and they got 30 hours home on Monday.
Oh, jeez. Unfortunately, the first pitch there by Courtney hits Sullivan Schlimgen. Thankfully, he's okay. Look at the sportsmanship right away, Tim, as the pitcher Courtney goes out to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, this always scares me when these kids get hit, because it really hurts when you get hit, and when you get your bell rung like that. Let's just hope he's all right.
And you see once again the teammates looking on. Immediately the coaches are out there checking on this young man. See, it looks like hit him there, the ear flap or the cheek, but tough start there for Sullivan Schlimgen.
And I've heard all the time, Adnan, growing up that, you know, you tell a kid, you know, just rub it off, it doesn't hurt. Well, you know what? It really does hurt. And in a case like this, let's just hope everything's all right. I've been really impressed how these kids stand right on top of the plate, and they're absolutely fearless. Because we see so many young kids at this age where fear runs them out of the game.
Yeah, you've often mentioned, Tim, people don't understand how tough you got to be a baseball player at this age to be able to stand in the box, take a shot like that, and still shake it off, go to first base. And then that classy sportsmanship. That's wonderful to see there by Courtney.
Beautiful to see. And that hit him in the ear flap. In other words, it didn't get him on the real meaty part of the helmet, and he stayed in the game. Good for him.
All right.
Well,
so
he's coming out now, it looks like.
Yeah, so they'll substitute right now. So a pinch runner there for Sullivan Schlimgen. But, of course, he can come back in the game a little bit later on. But thankfully, just good to see him go off of his own volition, as Cohen Henry is now the special pinch runner for Sully. The next batter is Trice Eastman. Goes by the nickname T-Train. Love all the nicknames, by the way, all these kids have.
And I checked his bio, and he plays multiple sports. And there's a point to be made here, Adnan. I'm telling you, the common denominator of every Major League player I've met was a multi-sport star in high school. Playing basketball makes you a better baseball player. Playing football makes you a better, and playing baseball makes you a better football player. Right. It works that way. I'm a big believer in making sure these kids play them all at a really young age. It helps in each sport.
It equates to you, like as a writer, they always say you want to write about different material. You know, you have passions beyond baseball, whatever sport it is. Otherwise, the muscles start to atrophy. So you want to be able to utilize whatever you have in whatever discipline. And for an athlete, you're right, hand-eye coordination, body mass, you're always utilizing different things. And thankfully, this is the age where they can still do all those. Later on, of course, you have to become a little bit more specialized.
I've just seen it where we're telling some 8-year-old kids you need to specialize and play baseball year-round. And I'm saying, let's put the bat down and go make the basketball team in December.
Eastman lays down the sacrifice, and Courtney makes the play to treble. So I'll bring up the first baseman, Marcus Phillips, whose dad is Steve Phillips, played in the Yankees organization and coached the Marlins and Expos as well. So Marcus Phillips, 6', 171, standing in the box.
His favorite player is D. Gordon. He's, I think, bigger than D. Gordon, his favorite player. And his favorite actor is Kevin Hart. We know he's way bigger than Kevin Hart.
Yeah, you've got Kevin Hart, no problem, Timmy. He's about 5'3". Phillips, the team's only RBI here, so he's got a runner on second, hopefully looking to drive him in here. D. Gordon is 5'11", 170, so Timmy's right. Phillips has got him beat. He has shown the power of this team from South Dakota, and so hoping to get into a pitch here.
And then I am amazed every time I come here how big some of these kids are. How do you get that big at age 12? And to be big and athletic like this kid, pretty impressive.
He's also a pitcher, throws really hard. They say it's about 71 to 74 miles an hour, which if you equate it in terms of distance, that's 95 mile an hour heat in the major league game. The 2-1 here to Marcus Phillips. Ball. Just inside. Phillips actually also throws a knuckleball. He hasn't thrown it much because kids haven't been able to touch his fastball, but if need be, maybe we'll see Marcus Phillips on the mound. He's starting at first base today.
I would tell him, throw the heater.
Yeah, no need for the knuckler. Runs the count full here as and Phillips strikes throwing, fouled it off, so he stays alive here in the at-bat. Mom and dad there for Marcus Phillips. I mentioned his dad played in the Yankees organization and coached the Marlins and Expos, and here he is encouraging his son along with mom. So you can never get over the fact it really is all about families here. So many fathers and sons and mothers and sons and daughters and sisters. It's really a family-friendly event like no other. Phillips there, the ground ball to short. Harrison Wielden scoops it up and the putout. Nice play there by the shortstop, Harrison Wielden.
And Marcus Phillips was limping pretty badly on his way to first there. I'm not sure what's going on, but shortstop made a terrific play there. Harrison Wielden got it on the short hop there. That's a tricky play, and he handled it beautifully.
Yeah, one of the aspects of the game, and I completely agree with you, you said how much fun it's been seeing some of these teams take infield practice. It's just, you know, there's that carefree nature to kids just practicing and actually enjoying the whole aspect of it.
I've said many times, the integrity of the infield that a team takes tells you a lot about how that team plays. And some of these teams here, it's just the most beautiful infield you've ever seen. So precise, so regimented.
You're saying the team from Japan in particular, fantastic. That ball inside, and that unfortunately hits Ethan Bruns, the third baseman. So Stephen Courtney's now hit a couple of batters here, Schlimgen and Bruns. This will bring up Leo Huners, the shortstop, and part of the other aspect, and we're seeing this today, he's trying to talk to international teams through Google Translate. Pretty cool to think the way you can utilize technology to try to bridge people together and trying to communicate with teams from other places.
And you, of course, know what Google Translate means?
I have no idea, Tim, but if they figure out an app you can talk Canadian through Google Translate, I'll put that in there.
Maybe you and I should do that during the game.
A little Google Translate between Adnan and Tim.
And Leo here wants to be, if he's not a big league player, he wants to be a broadcaster. So I'm pretty confident it's in. He'll be way better than you when he gets older. I think that's pretty clear.
I like it. So Courtney trying to find the strike zone here. In case you're just joining us, we will have players from different teams, Michigan and Canada and North Carolina and Texas up here in the booth. So to what Tim's alluding to, maybe we'll let them call a couple pitches, see if they've got that broadcasting gene in them. The 3-0 to Huners, and he walks him.
Way up and above the strike zone here. He's got to get this straightened out. I'm sure someone will go out and talk to him and calm him down in a minute.
Second consecutive trip to Williamsport for Hills Little League. Hills, the first team from Australia to make back-to-back appearances in the Little League World Series. And Courtney now working to Jack Radell. You know, this is the epitome of being a little kid. He's all about gum, Jack says. Double bubble, juicy fruit, big league chew. He'd love to be a spokesperson for all three. Wait till he gets superstitious, and I got to have double bubble in the first inning, juicy fruit in the second, big league chew in the third. 1-1 right now to Jack.
Don't laugh at it. I've written the superstition story many times. I can tell you all sorts of stories about guys who have to chew a certain kind of gum when they're at the plate, but not in the field.
Color, texture, all crazy. Cole Buck, the Australian catcher, chews 15 pieces of gum at a time.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's not even just, okay, throughout the course of the game, but at a time.
And I saw Terry Francona last night in Cleveland, and he goes through about 100 pieces a game.
Jack Radell up the middle, and that'll score 1 run. And coming around third will be a second play at the plate. The throw is too high, and 2 runs will score as other advancer goes to third, and Jack Radell ends up with a 2-run double. South Dakota on the board, 2-0.
That's a really nice piece of hitting here. Goes right back up the middle. Center fielder makes a terrific play on this. And he gets a little too amped and misses the cutoff man, throws a little high to the plate, although there's some serious arm strength there.
A single and 2 RBI for Jack Radell, and now it's Bennett Dannenbring. Take a look once again at the throw, Timmy. A little too amped, as you said, but good job by the other player to cover up there. Bennett Dannenbring, whose nickname is Bread Boy, because that's his favorite thing is bread. No butter, not toasted, plain. All bread all the time.
Hey, I'm with him. That's good enough for me.
He's also favorite TV shows Days of Our Lives, and speaking of being operatic, he's the team leader, they say, in sports takes. He was bragging he would kill Stephen A. Smith in any sports debate. So the word is out to Stephen A. We've got to get Bennett Dannenbring on the set. Stephen A., of course, has been in soap operas as well, so I don't know if they can talk Days of Our Lives and Young and the Restless.
Well, he's not going to be louder than Stephen A. Let's put it that way.
Trying to let his bat do the talking as he fouls it off. 2-2 right now with runners at second and third. Stephen Courtney trying to regroup now and limit the damage. Just a couple of runs here in the first.
Now, and every time I see a foul ball in this place, I get great comfort that it's all covered by netting. And if I may, I hope someday this is what it looks like in the big leagues, because I come here and I never worry about a kid getting hit with a line drive. I never worry about a grandma or grandpa who get hit with a line drive. They're all protected by this netting.
That ball, unfortunately, out of the reach of Cole Buck, the catcher, but a nice recovery. The toss to Courtney, and they get the final out of the inning. They may challenge it right now. It hit the camera area, so they're saying it's a dead ball.
All right, so if it hits the camera area, all right, the ball is dead. The runner gets the plate here. Let's see where it actually hits.
Yeah, so that is out of play.
All right, so when the ball goes out of play, everyone moves up a base, and the run scores.
That is the official ruling there, yep. So the runner now on third. So a dead ball out of play, scoring on the wild pitch, as Timmy said. So 3-0 now for South Dakota. And Bennett Dannenbring is still the batter. Up the ladder once again, and Dannenbring will walk with that. So Courtney now struggling with his control here. Back to your point, though, about the netting, Timmy. It is true that I don't think you appreciate, unless you go to as many major league games as you do, the speed and velocity of the game. And baseball is such a game, you're casual, you're talking, it's friendly, and all of a sudden, if you're too nonchalant and not paying attention, watch out.
Every night I go to a game, I cringe when I think, oh, look out, somebody's going to get hurt here, and I never worry about that here. Another reason to love Lamade Stadium.
Ty Nocturborn here up. Runners on first and third. Ty loves the hunting and fishing network, so not sure if he's had any time to embrace that here, but coming from South Dakota.
You're a pretty big hunter, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Way to keep the rifle away from me. Watch out. I prefer whenever the people do the hard work for me, Timmy. As you see right now, one of the other pitchers getting loose. His favorite movie is American Sniper, so...
Hey! That's pretty sophisticated there.
Seems a little young for that kind of subject matter, but he could appreciate Bradley Cooper, a Clint Eastwood film. Was nominated for Best Picture. And
got a lot of Happy Gilmores here. Then we get an American Sniper. That's pretty good.
I was about to say, amidst all the Kevin Hart and Adam Sandlers, I can appreciate Ty's movie taste. That ball goes down to second, unfortunately off the glove of Harrison Wheeldon. That'll score another run as the runner, Dannenbring, advances there to third. Being told to go home there by the third base coach, and the ump putting their arms up.
Second base umpire, I think, called time there. I think center fielder requested time and was given it. Let's see if they allow that run to score. So we're going to have a meeting of the umpires here to determine if somebody actually called time.
All these guys, by the way, are volunteers paid their own way. So credit to Robert Suriello, the home plate umpire, Austin Riggleman, Brian Horn, Raymond Hennessy, Raul Martinez, and Bruce Hicks in right field. We had Bruce Hicks behind the plate for yesterday's game at that tight strike zone, which Ryan Russillo was texting me about. Now the umpires confer and decide what happens.
The runner on third, the runner who scored has to go back to third because the second base umpire had put his hands up and called time.
So a double steal, and it's an E2, and it's now 4-0 for South Dakota.
And that's correct because the play had stopped and somebody asked for time. It was given to him by the umpire. That run should not score.
3-1 now to Nacht Boren.
It was so cool the other day that Jerry Davis, who worked the Major League game on Sunday night, worked a couple of innings here as the second base up. Yep. Like secretly he went out there.
Definitely very cool. Nako Boren gets the walk. So now the number 9 hitter, Logan Boom, comes up. So a good start for South Dakota as they're batting around here in the top of the first. Boom goes by Mr. Lefty. Then the coaches all say he's just a gamer. That's what you want at any level. Doesn't matter. He's just a gamer. 5'3", 114. The little big man.
It's one of the great names ever, isn't it?
About to say,
you
Logan
can do
Boom.
a lot of things with that name.
Well, if he goes
Actor,
deep,
baseball player.
If he goes deep, it's boom goes the dynamite.
Right.
That's already going to happen. So,
engineer or something like that.
Engineer's a pretty good one. Maybe in the audio field, like boom operator,
Sure.
something like that. There's definitely a lot here. Courtney 0-2 ahead of Logan Boom here. About to throw his 34th pitch of this first inning. Consolation game between South Dakota and Australia. And that one a little high. Stephen Courtney's mother from Texas, and she sends out chants prior to the games for the parents to learn. 12 families making the trip to Williamsport, as coaches are expecting a group of about 40 to be in attendance. Same amount as last year, so making considerable distance to come all the way from Australia. Got him. So Courtney strikes out Logan Boom with a nice pitch on the outside corner. 4-0. South Dakota has the lead. We'll see what happens in the bottom of the first coming up.
Santic, charge up to the mound.
Told about emojis. Yes, the Tim Kirkjian emoji game. How proficient is he in it? We'll get to that a little bit later on. But Australia is the home team here for the consolation game, and what a journey they have made to come here. 3 players from last year's team returning to Williamsport once again, but the second consecutive trip to Williamsport for Hills Little League, the capital of New South Wales. It's the most populous city in Australia. People always think it's in that area. 2000 Summer Olympics host there, right with Sydney, and that beautiful country of Australia, always so proficient in athletics. Let's meet the team coming all the way here to Williamsport.
Hi, my name is Jet Watson. My favorite player, Elvis Andrews.
Hi, my name is Liam Padovan, and my favorite baseball player is Chris Bright.
Hi, my name is Hayden Purchase. My favorite baseball player is Yadier Molina.
Hi, my name is Caden Ireland, and my favorite baseball player is Clayton Kershaw.
Hi, my name's Ethan Treble, and my favorite baseball player is Mookie Betts.
Lachlan Bajarski, and my favorite player is Aaron Judge.
Hi, my name is Cody Bryant, and my favorite baseball player is Bryce Harper.
My name is Yazir Jayawardena, and my favorite player is Didi Gregorius.
Hi, my name is Cole Buck, and my favorite baseball player is Randall Gritchett.
Hi, my name's Harrison Wooden, and my favorite baseball player is Aaron Judge.
Hi, my name is Tom Stanzik, and my favorite baseball player is Clayton Kershaw.
My name is Tyler Spiteri, and my favorite player is Aaron Judge.
Hi, my name is Stephen Courtney, and my favorite player is Rugnard Odor.
Once again, just to reiterate, second consecutive trip to Williamsport. Hill's the first team from Australia to make back-to-back appearances in the Little League World Series. They went 7-0 during the Australia Regional Tournament this year. And last year, 3 returning players, Stephen Courtney, who we saw on the mound there in the top of the first, Ethan Treble, and Harrison Wielden, all making their second Little League World Series appearance. And they will be facing the pitcher, Jack Radell, for the team from South Dakota. 5'6", 131. Jack's a smart baseball player. The coaches say he always asks great baseball questions, so we'll see how he fares here with a 4-0 lead against a team from Australia. And of course, Jack had that big base hit in the top of the first, which drove in a couple of runs.
I spoke to Coach Riley of the South Dakota team before the game, and he said, we're going to break the record for most pitchers used in a Little League World Series game today, because he wants all of them to have the experience that, yes, I pitched in a Little League World Series game.
Can definitely appreciate that approach. Everybody gets in no matter what, which is fun. Ethan Treble leading him off, 5'3", 99 pounds, the first baseman for Australia. His nickname is E.T. Makes sense. Phone home, right? But before his time, but Treble there, right on time, the base hit up the middle, and Australia starts off the game with a base hit. Harrison Wielden is hitting second for the Australian team, the shortstop.
As you know, his favorite player is Aaron Judge. He's born on the same day as Aaron Judge. How about that?
Very good.
And his favorite meme, of course, I don't even know what that means, but his favorite meme is...
Wielden there with a base hit into left. Runners on first and second. Go ahead.
Well, this is fitting because his favorite meme is, I've run the numbers, we can build a batting cage in the backyard. Pretty good.
I'm not only impressed by his meme with the fact you knew how to pronounce it, because I've seen many people, Tim, they go, is it a meme, is it a meme? You said it flawlessly.
I'm 60, thank you.
Mastered the art of the meme. Stephen Courtney, the pitcher, hitting third in the lineup. Oh. His special talent, he says, is double-jointed thumbs. I don't know if that's necessarily what I'm looking for in a special talent, but definitely pretty cool. 2-0 count on Courtney with runners up first and second.
Well, Stephen had a difficult first inning. You can make up for it here. Hit a ball out of the park and get him back in the game.
Swings through that pitch, up and in. Of course, no designated hitter, in case you're wondering. The pitchers all hit here at the Little League World Series. That ball up the middle, and Stephen Courtney with a base hit. Nice job by the center fielder, Trace Eastman, to recover it, but it still scores a run for an RBI single, and Australia's on the board.
And the pitchers should hit at the Little League World Series. We shouldn't have a kid being a designated hitter. All these kids should play as many positions as they possibly can. It helps them play the other positions if they get to move around. It's a great idea.
Down on the zone, and Courtney makes contact. And it's Tyler Spiteri, the right fielder, who said if he could travel anywhere, and these kids have all made a considerable distance, he'd like to go to Canada. Tyler Spiteri, I'm pulling for him here. Come on, Tyler. First pitch swinging.
And you're Canadian, right?
Yeah. Breaking news here to you, right? Canada 2-0 at the Little League World Series, first time since 1998. Me and Dan Shulman, the respected good luck charms. Dan's now back north of the border. By the way, Tim, honorary Canadian. You got family in Newmarket, which is just north of Ontario. Your wife Kathy has family in British Columbia. So Tim is a man of the people.
So you must be thrilled the Canadians are 2-0.
It's amazing to see, because in the past, and this really is a secret, Carl Ravitch has told me, you've got to have more than one really good starting pitcher. In the past, Canada's had a really good ace and then been unable to string together victories. But 2-0 for the team from White Rock, BC. They're facing the team from Japan tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern, right here from Lamade Stadium. It'll be on ESPN, so I can't wait. It's great to see.
Right, we did the Canadian game the other day. Those kids are great, and they're really cool, too. So they're up against it tomorrow with Japan, but go Canada.
Thanks, Timmy. Yeah, it's great baseball coming up not only today, but in the days ahead. Of course, all leading to the championship on Sunday. couple of games on tap today at 3 o'clock and 7:30 Eastern. The 1-2 to Spiteri, the ground ball to the second baseman, and knocked Boren over to Phillips. Scores the run.
And that's the right play there. He might have gotten a force at second there, but when you're struggling a little bit like this, let's just get an out, get somebody out, run scores, but at least there's an out on the board now.
Brings up Tom Stanzik now with a runner on second. Stanzik in the notes saying, by the way, as the runner advances to third. Yeah, the third base coach saying, get down, get down. Indeed, smart heads-up base running there. Stanzik's dream job is to be an Uber driver. Which, last year, Dallas Braden went to Reptile Land, was trying to find an Uber driver, was told we don't know what that is. There's 12 of them now in terms of Uber drivers here in Williamsport. So that is the Dallas Braden effect. How do I get back from Reptile Land? Call Uber.
He called at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They said, we'll get somebody there at 4:30.
What time do you have to be on set? We'll get somebody out there in 4 hours. No problem at all. We love Dallas. Jack Raydell strikes out Stanzik, and that'll bring up Lachlan Boyarski, the center fielder. So with 2 outs, Raydell is just trying to get out of the inning here by giving up a couple. You're going to love this one, Timmy. Boyarski's favorite TV show is MASH.
Really?
Yeah, and his favorite band, AC/DC, and the song Highway to Hell. His dad said he's born in the wrong generation.
Goodness.
Just loves Alan Alda, I guess. Just in case, apparently 3 Uber drivers available today. Our producer Joe McCoy telling us, in case you need to get anywhere. Tim does have his own car.
There are 3 total in Williamsport?
Currently available right now, yeah.
Okay.
We need to make a call at some point. We need to send Matt Sandulli on a run. We've got 3 Uber drivers to take care of us.
With all due respect for Tom Stanzik, he's going to shoot. He's going to have to shoot a little higher than that, than an Uber driver.
Oh. I love the fact, though, he's clear about what he wants, all right? You got a lot of people. Listen, Boyarski wants to be a zookeeper because he loves orangutans. I love that Stanzik wants to be an Uber driver. Let's make this clear. As that ball gets away from the catcher, Schlimgen, and the play at the plate, he is safe. So Australia with some good base running, not only advancing to third, but also at home on the passed ball. 4-3 now here in the bottom of the first. That ball slapped toward third base, and Ethan Bruns with a nice throw over to Marcus Phillips. But Australia does put up a few runs on the board. All right, enough of me and Tim. We're going to get a couple kids here from Michigan up in the booth. So far, they've been terrific at the Little League World Series. We'll see how they are in the booth when we come back.
If you're not having fun in baseball, you miss the point of everything.
The words of Chris Chambliss, of course, the Yankee great back in the 70s, as we are so pleased to have you with us here from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. South Dakota leading Australia 4-3. Alongside Tim Kirchin and Matt Namburk and a couple of really special guests here. Look at these future stars of the game so far. They've been great for the team from Grosse Pointe in Michigan. Joseph Wisniewski, who, yes, is 3 inches taller than Kirchin, and Adam Arald, 3 inches taller than Tim as well. No matter who comes in the booth, we're going to have them measure up against Tim. So you guys are already off to a flying start.
Fellas, I'm only here for 2 things, context and scale, so everyone could see how big some of you kids are. That's the only reason they brought me here.
So far, it's been great to see you guys here and representing Michigan so well. First victory yesterday for Michigan since 1982. What does that mean for you guys, Joseph?
It's awesome. We had a great time and just happy we got that win.
Adam, what's it been like for you for this whole experience here?
Oh, you know, the atmosphere is great. Everybody around the world is coming to watch us. It's just amazing.
Joseph, have you ever played on a field quite like this well manicured, this beautiful?
No, not even close.
It's definitely special to see. New pitcher, by the way, in the game. Tom Stanzik is now on the mound for this Australian team. 4-3 right now in the top of the second. A strikeout there, so Stanzik off to a good start so far.
So the Uber driver with a strikeout.
That's his aspiration. You guys filled out all those questionnaires. His dream job is to be an Uber driver. How about you, Joseph?
Sports announcer.
So there you go.
There you go.
Well, listen, if you're feeling confident, if you want to call an inning, I mean, by all means.
I'm all right.
Adnan has really struggled so far. I think you should take the next inning.
I was going to say, you can't do worse than me. Adam, how about for you? Dream job?
Probably just a professional athlete.
Okay, that's great.
And Joseph, you love the University of Michigan, right?
Yes.
So you're going to play football there someday. Is that the plan?
Yes, and baseball.
Baseball and football at Michigan. How much do you weigh right now?
Like 160.
So when you get to Michigan, what position will you be playing ideally?
Linebacker.
So you'll be like a 6'2", 220-pound linebacker at Michigan.
Yeah.
We saw that in the bio, that you don't own any clothing that doesn't say University of Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Adnan's a big Ohio State fan. Did you know that?
I was going to say, linebackers, I love James Laurinaitis. Great from Ohio State. Tim is just kidding. But I am a huge college football fan. Cannot wait for the season to begin. Of course, we're 9 days away from kickoff. Michigan's defense, though, losing 11 starters from last season. You concerned about that?
No, not at all.
The strikeout here by Stanzik, so Griffin Wild strikes out there. To what do you attribute the confidence? The fact that Jim Harbaugh's such a good coach, you feel the turnover will be?
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
And as far as Michigan-Ohio State, what Tim was referencing, have you ever seen a Michigan-Ohio State game in person?
Yeah, I went to one a couple years ago at the Big House.
What was it like?
It was crazy. We won. It was back when we had Denard Robinson as quarterback, so it was really exciting.
Yeah, speaking of versatility, Robinson could do a little bit of everything.
Hey!
Oh, look at a ball, yes! All right. I'd love to lie to the audience and say I caught the ball, but it just kind of fumbled my way in here, so.
That's amazing.
Pretty good, Tim.
Way to go.
Either of you ever caught a ball in a game?
No.
Tim's caught it more than a few hundred, I think.
Wow. Adnan's never caught a ball in a game when he used to play.
Even when I was playing catch, I was always struggling, but now we got our own Little League baseball.
Adam, tell us about your 20 questions the other day. You were in the pool and you came out and had to answer a bunch of questions. Is that right?
Yeah.
How did that go?
It's pretty good.
So, like, what kind of questions do they ask you? Like, what's your favorite movie, that type of thing?
Yeah. Just like.
And how many times did you have to do that?
Like 5 or 6.
So you did it in 5 takes?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Very good. And the strikeout here of Marcus Phillips. You guys are doing so good, we're going to keep you here for the bottom of the second. We got the replay here. I wouldn't want to say it's catching a foul ball, but as it rolls towards you, oh, no, yeah. I wasn't scared at all.
You barehanded it at an end. God, that was great.
What is the last thing you ate?
Waffles.
Championship ring or championship belt?
Championship ring.
What's your favorite emoji?
The money face.
Durant or LeBron?
LeBron.
What's your least favorite chore?
Cleaning my room.
Mike Trout or Bryce Harper?
Mike Trout.
What's your go-to dance move?
The dance.
What superpower would you have?
Invisibility.
You believe in ghosts?
No.
What animal would you be?
A giraffe.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Nice, athletic, and funny.
Cannonball or jackknife?
Jackknife.
Jackknife.
We're great to have Adam Aralt now that he's gotten out of the pool from Michigan here joining us alongside Tim Kirchhoff, Adnan Burke, and his teammate with the team from Grosse Pointe, Joseph Wisniewski. So how many takes did that take, Adam? Because you seem pretty confident up there.
5 or 6 takes.
I was going to say, you had a lot of swag. Aaron Boone, our colleague, had said to me, because you got to see how good this kid Aralt is. What was the 3 words you used to describe yourself? I missed the 3rd one.
Nice, athletic, and funny.
Nice athletic. I thought I said nice athletic and toned. I said, all right, self-confident young man here, Adam. I like it. That ball popped up here, and that is the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the second as South Dakota leads.
So, Adam, what was it like the other day when the major leaguers came in here? Who did you meet, and what was that like?
I met Josh Harrison. We played ping pong with him over in the rec room.
Really?
Just kind of like meeting a normal guy. He was cool about it.
Did you beat him?
We played around the world, like where everyone runs around the table. And
Joseph, who did you meet?
I hung out with Josh Harrison, too.
He's a very cool guy?
Yeah.
Well, tell us what kind of conversations you had with those guys.
I sat with him and watched the Southwest game, and we just talked about the game and while we were watching it.
Right. Cole Buck is up right now. His nickname, and I know you guys all have fun nicknames for each other, but Cole Buck's nickname is Crack Man because of his tendency to sit on the crack between seats and photos. What do you think of that nickname, Adam?
It's pretty weird.
We got Crack Man here. He also goes by Uncle Buck, or Buckets. So we'll see what Cole Buck can do here. How have you always wanted to be a broadcaster? What is it about broadcasting that appeals to you?
I just love sports so much, so it's an excuse to get to watch all the games.
Good excuse for me and Tim as well.
Right. And Joseph, when you're out there playing in a game, are you aware and are you thinking to yourself, this game is on television? Does that enter your mind?
Not really. No, it doesn't.
Adam, is there any extra pressure when you're thinking this game is on television today and all my friends are watching it at home?
No, it's just like playing a normal game in baseball.
Well, good for you guys for being focused on the task at hand. Cole Buck there with a walk as it'll bring up Yasiru Jayawardene. Did you guys go down the hill at all? Coach allowed you to do that, Josh?
No.
Adam?
No.
Did you want to, or is that something you're not interested in?
Yeah, you get dirty.
Yeah.
I only get dirty on the baseball field.
Tim's gone down the hill multiple times. I mean, he can do it standing up. That ball there hit into right. And you see the right fielder, Logan Boom, gets turned around a little bit there. So Jayawardene goes into second, and runners down in second and third here in the bottom of the second. Check out the replay here, and it's a tough hop here for the right fielder, Logan Boom, Tim.
Right, this ball is spinning kind of the other way, and when it hits, it bounces back towards center field. Naturally, the right fielder was a little confused by that. You don't see that very often.
Score that a double there for the left fielders. That brings up Ethan Treble, the first baseman.
And I actually only went down the hill one time. I went down on my butt, not head first, because I'm afraid.
Treble, that hit just over the reach of Marcus Phillips, who is a 6-foot first baseman, and then I'll bring home another run. So it's 4-all as Australia ties it up. He's a big guy there, Phillips at first, so that's an effort to get the ball over him.
All right, 6-foot first baseman. Wow. So, Joseph, what's it been like? What kind of reaction have you gotten from home? Texts and all that from all your friends and family that couldn't be here?
It's been crazy. I mean, just a lot of congratulations, obviously, and just they just gave us a lot of support, even though we've been losing, and they told us that they're proud of us no matter what.
Right. Adam, what's it been like for you with all the support from home?
It's been great. You know, my parents are getting a bunch of texts from the community. I know they're waiting for us at the City Hall when we get back.
That's great.
It'll be fun.
And Joseph, what's it like to be able to play different positions? Of course, the major leagues, right? They'll play 9 innings as a right field, whatever it is. With you guys, you're rotating. How have you enjoyed that?
I like it a lot. Just get to go somewhere new every inning.
Yeah. What is your favorite position?
Probably second base.
How about for you, Adam?
Probably first base.
Oh, I see you were in right field. I think you pitched a little bit yesterday as well. Yeah. Definitely showing your versatility. So Joseph Wisniewski has told us that he wants to be a broadcaster one day. So your moment in the sun is about to come up here on ESPN. You're going to be reading a promo shortly here as Harrison Wheeldon. It's now 0-2 count. No pressure. You're going to be great. It's on national television. Just practice in your head. After this batter, Wisniewski takes center stage.
Joseph's favorite position is second base. He's basically taller than Jose Altuve, who might win the MVP of the American League.
5'6" Altuve hit .362 this year. Adam, what's your favorite baseball player?
JD Martinez.
Okay. What is it about JD you like?
You know, he's always writing down notes about what he does wrong after he bats. Like, rolls over, he'll write down in his notebook, rolled over with the date.
So do you guys get to go to some Tiger games? How many Tiger games have you been to?
I haven't been to any this year.
Neither have I.
But you've been to Comerica Park before, and
yeah.
what was that like?
It's cool. It's a cool place. I mean, the stadium's really nice, and usually we have a good team, but this year we're not doing as well.
Been a good run for the Tigers in the Central, but yeah, the Indians right now running away with it. So the strikeout there of Harrison Wheeldon. Here's your chance, Joseph. Go ahead.
The Rangers and Angels are in the thick of the AL wildcard battle, and tonight we'll have their game on ESPN. Adrian Beltre in Fuego since he got his 3,000th hit. Leads to Texas against Mike Trout and the Angels. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, also streaming live on the ESPN app.
Very good. Well done, young man. Well done.
Seamless read.
Much better than me. Go
Only
ahead.
Adnan was that good.
I'll get out of here right now. Good sell for that game. Of course, we have the Rangers and Angels tonight and tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern. And baseball tonight follows the Little League World Series game going into the Major League action. Here is Stephen Courtney, who started the game as a pitcher. Oh, and a nice play there made by the first baseman, Marcus Phillips, for the final out of the inning. Thanks so much to Adam Arold and Joseph Wisniewski. Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on getting that win yesterday as well. Thanks, Adam. Once again, we'll have more Little Leaguers joining us here in the booth, but that's a big league play there by Marcus Phillips. Nice snare as we head to the top of the third. Great to have you with us here from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the site of the Little League World Series, alongside Tim Kirchen, Ahmad Namverkin. It's great to have Little Leaguers all over the place joining us right now in the booth. So JoJo Byrne from North Carolina, 5'3", so a couple inches shorter than Tim Kirchen. And Cash Daniels Moy, 5'2", 3 inches shorter than Tim. Great to see you guys. Thanks so much for coming by. North Carolina, the pitching so far has been exceptional, and it's been amazing to see for us to be able to see a perfect game in the first game and a no-hitter in the second game. What's it been like for you guys to see it?
I mean, it's been pretty cool because we came out here and didn't really expect that to happen, and then it happened.
Cash, what's it been like for you seeing a perfect game in the first game and then a no-hitter in the second game?
I mean, it's been awesome, but also in another way, it's been kind of boring in the outfield because nothing gets hit to you.
It's a good point, Cash. The ground ball there to first base for 1 out. You want to get some action in at some point, right?
Yeah.
Make some plays. JoJo, I understand you're on Mike and Mike. Is that true? No? We had some intel. I mean, perhaps maybe you're a fan of...
yes.
Yeah, okay, you're a fan of the show, Mike and Mike. Mike Greenberg, Mike Golick, you're big fans of those guys. What is it about those guys you like?
Whenever I'm about to go to school in the morning, I always like to watch them, and they're just like to talk about baseball, and I do too.
They may be watching. If you have a special message you'd like to pass along to Green or Golick, the floor is yours.
Hope I can get a talk show like them, and they're my favorite.
That's awesome. Good stuff, JoJo. How about you, Cassius? How excited are you to see ESPN here?
I mean, it's exciting, but when I'm on the field, I'd forget all about the cameras and stuff, and I just play my game.
Smart man. Focus on the action at hand.
Cash, what was it like going to the Major League game the other night at Bowman Field? How was that?
It was really cool because I never saw a Major League game in person, and how close we were, and how they were talking to us and stuff like that.
Now, who did you get to talk to? What Major Leaguer did you get to meet?
Yadier Molina and Starling Marte.
And what were they saying to you?
Well, they were like, well, when we saw them out here, they were like, I hope you guys win and beat California. And I was like, yeah, we're going to. And at the game, when they were warming up, I was asking questions about can I take a picture? And they were like serious about the game. They were like, I have warm-ups right now.
JoJo, who did you get to meet the other night, and what was that like?
I got to meet Yadier Molina, and it was pretty cool because he did, like, I was watching him in the All-Star game, and he did really good. And then he got to watch, he was watching my game this time, and I got a picture of him, and it was just really, really cool.
Jack Radell there with the base hitters. There's 2 out right now in the top of the 3rd. We've got some video here, fellas. Cash, JoJo, both of you guys here walking on the field there at BB&T Ballpark at historic Bowman Field. So amazing for you guys. You have been both terrific so far for North Carolina, but then obviously be a part of that major league experience as well. First pitch swing, the ground ball there. And unfortunately, both the second baseman and the first baseman, Padova and Treble, going for it. So no play at first, but the umpire now motioned to go back.
The left field umpire had called time. I think a ball got on the field or the players were coming in. So we'll replay that play.
Cool. Now, Cash, I understand you have an interesting journey as how you got to North Carolina. Tell me about that.
How I got to North Carolina?
Yeah, was there a displaced hurricane or something that got you, your family moved there to North Carolina?
No, we've been staying in North Carolina. It happened like while I was in there.
Gotcha. And how was that ball's fouled on out of play? How difficult was that experience?
I mean, it was really a tough time, what me and my family going through. But luckily, Carson Hardy and his family like took us in, and Miss Gia, her son played on my regular season. Her son played on my regular season team, Michael Kane, and like they took me in, and like they know how much I like to surf, so they took me down to the beach, to their beach house, and like we had really fun down there.
That's great. Great to see all the community coming together there.
How often do you get to go surfing?
Well, I do it during the summer, but not this summer because of all the baseball. So.
Adnan's a really good and big surfer. Yeah.
Hunting, fishing, you name it. Dannenberg strikes out there. Thanks so much to JoJo Byrne and Cash Daniels Boy. Thanks so much, guys. Good luck in North Carolina the rest of the way.
Thanks
so
for
much for coming here and being a part of our experience here. We've got more of South Dakota, Australia coming up right after this. It is the Little League World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, alongside Tim Kirchin and Matt Danberg, coming to you from beautiful Lamade Field here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Beginning in January 2018, Little League will join other youth baseball organizations in adopting USA Baseball's new USA Bat Standard. For more information on how this new youth standard will impact Little League, visit littleleague.org/batinfo. Texas players signing some autographs. In fact, we'll have a couple of players, Blake Slaga and Hunter Ditzworth, joining us in the 5th inning from Texas. Our thanks to Adam Aralt, Joseph Wisniewski from the team from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, and JoJo Byrne and Cash Daniels Moy joining us from North Carolina here in the booth. Mad scramble right now here, Tim. What's going on? Oh, trying to get a ball here, of course. Kid there from New England had to get a ball, so.
Yeah, not everyone can get a ball at the game. You did, of course.
Somehow it happened. A lot of offense. You know, this is the second game I've been able to call. 20 runs scored in the 2 first innings I was able to call. Yesterday, David Ross and I had a ton of fun calling the Italy game, which we expected to be, you know, rather quick, tidy affair. 7-6 after the first. And here today, some good offense from both Australia and the team from South Dakota.
Well, thank goodness you went to Lamade Stadium to call the game.
Rossi and I went to Volunteer Field here. Got the call from our producer, Joe McCoy, about 20 minutes until first pitch. Thankfully, though, as Rossi pointed out, it wasn't like we went to Yankee Stadium and then had to get to Citi Field. It was a quick couple minutes over here. New pitcher now in the game for South Dakota as Ty Not Boren is in the game. First pitch is ball 1. So bottom of the 3rd right now, and of course, it's a consolation game for both these teams, but they would love to get out of here with a victory. Oh, that pitch right through the wickets, as they would say, and that's a base hit.
And every time I go down on this field, and I'm more amazed how close everything is. That pitcher's mound is right on top, and thank goodness pitcher didn't get hurt here, because that ball was smoked right through the box.
Yeah, the pitcher, Ty Not Gaborin, started as a second baseman in this game, but both the coaches doing a good job of trying to make sure that all the different players will get a chance to play whatever position they like. Here's Tom Stanzik, who was the third baseman, struck out, later on was pitching, and Stanzik with a base hit into center, so runners on first and second here for Australia.
It's a beautiful piece of hitting there by Tom. He just stayed back on that ball, let it travel, hit it right up the middle.
Pinch hitter now, Cody Bryan, coming in the game. So he is pinch hitting for Lachlan Boyarsky, the center fielder. Bryan, first pitch swing, pops it up, and they make sure to call it as the pitcher, Nakaborin, calls it, and then the play, the heads up to third, but he's safe there. So aggressive base running there by Spiteri going into third, but he's safe.
Well, you don't often see anybody tag up and advance from second to third on the infield fly rule in which the pitcher catches the ball.
Yeah. What are we doing running?
That's some pretty heads-up base running there.
Definitely heads-up base running there.
I think they might be suggesting he left early. Have to do an official appeal here.
Okay. A smart play, though, by the pitcher.
No.
Oh.
And I might be wondering if they got him out at third. That was a pretty close play. I think he's out.
Yeah, we'll see there. The umpire was rather emphatic in calling safe, but one more look here. I'm with you, Tim. I think he's out. So the umpires will take a look right now, as will the rest of the team huddling up to wait and see. One more look here. Slapping the tag down, Ethan Bruns is. Right. Looks to get the glove right there on him, so we'll see what the call is as the umpires talk it over. So no appeal, in fact, anyways. We were just showing you the different looks there. So now the pitcher is stepping up and appealing. Did he leave early now is what they're discussing.
He didn't leave early. We saw the replay, and you have to appeal properly. You can't appeal 3 times. You can only do it once. You got to do it right.
Wow, so they appeal it, they call him out. And now he's going back into first.
We watched the replay, Adnan. He tagged up properly on that ball.
Wow, so now you see Spiteri's reaction there on third base. As now the team from Australia talking over the umpire. So once again, here's the catch made by the pitcher. And yes, he did not leave early. Clearly, Spiteri waited until the appropriate time after Not Gaborin had made the catch. They end up making the throw to Bruns there at third base, which the umpire ruled safe. But watch it again. Makes the catch, and then he leaves the base.
And obviously, same rules apply on an infield fly rule. You have to tag up if he catches it. Runners advance at their own risk, and he...
Yeah, the tag up is not reviewable either. So either way you slice it, though, Spiteri is ruled out. As Tim correctly noted, very rare to see a tag up on an infield fly rule. Only at the Little League World Series.
To the pitcher.
Yeah. What will they think of next? So now you've gotten everything sorted out here. Not Gaborin is just trying to get one more out and get out of this inning.
I'm pretty sure with the 3,500 games I've seen in my life on the big league level, I've never seen that one.
Jeff Watson, 2-1 as he swings through that pitch low. Another pitch low. Well done.
Two. Oh. Too high.
So runs the count full here. to Jeff Watson, the pitch hitter. And that's low as well. So Nakamura thought it was a strikeout, started to walk off the mound, but instead Watson gets a walk and keeps this inning alive. So now you see all the pinch hitters coming up. Hayden Purchase, number 3, now in the game for Cole Buck, the catcher. And Purchase, first pitch swinging into center, and that will fall for a base hit in front of Griffin Wild. Wilder taking the wide turn in third. Instead, it's now base as low as it was. Sharply hit there by Purchase.
Well, Hayden Purchase, 5 feet tall, 83 pounds. It's a knock in a Little League World Series game. That's so great.
Very cool to see the little guy step up like that. And it looks like maybe a pitching change here for South Dakota. Let's listen in fact, the manager.
All right, so Marcus is going to come in to pitch. Go to second. Mason, go to right. Okay, hey, 2 outs, bases loaded, all right? Hey, pound the zone. Hey, we're on the 9 hitter, so it's not like you got to overpower here, all right? Yeah, you and Marcus are married, so.
All right, so making some moves here. The South Dakota team is. Base is loaded. We'll see if Marcus Phelps can get them out of it as we continue our coverage from the Little League World Series here on ESPN. Alongside Tim Kirch and Adnan Burke, you can see we're having a lot of fun here in the booth. Not only me and Tim get to hang out, but we've got to have some players from different teams, got to retrieve a ball. I wouldn't say I caught a ball. A couple players here from North Carolina as well joining us. Got some pictures here. Make sure we got Tim in the picture there with the really fancy paddle with Twitter. So it's been great to have some visitors here in the booth with us as we get to watch a good game right now. South Dakota and Australia. Bases loaded as Marcus Phelps is in the game. And Tim, this is going to be fun because this kid throws gas.
Yeah, he throws about 75 miles an hour. He's the biggest kid on the field. I think every Little League's got one of those kids.
That ball unfortunately gets away from the catcher, Cohen Henry. Play at the plate, and that'll score the run. So Australia takes a lead 5-4 on the wild pitch from Marcus Phillips.
Yeah, Al Leiter, former Major League pitcher, said, you know, every hometown's got that real big, scary guy who throws really hard and hits people once in a while. He goes, yeah. I was that guy, he said. And he's not alone.
Runners on second and third. We'll see if Phillips can get out of it. There's the pitch speed equivalent to what Tim was referring. So 70 miles an hour in Little League World Series, that's 91 in a Major League game. And he's throwing about 75. That could be 98. So 71, that last pitch was 92.
Can't stress this enough, Adnan. These kids are courageous little kids. They're standing right on top of the plate. Instead of bailing, they're stepping right at the pitcher and taking a good hack at it.
So the wild pitch there from Marcus Phillips allows the run to score, but a big strikeout there. 5-4 Australia leads. We're halfway through. One of the stars of Team Canada going to join us in the booth next. Great action from Williamsport today at the Little League World Series. Mexico versus Venezuela in an elimination game. Mexico pitching has been outstanding ever since they lost to Venezuela in that game 1. They get them 1 hit in their last 2 games, 3 Eastern on ESPN, and then it's New Jersey and Connecticut. Connecticut, the big win last night. That game at 7:30 Eastern. Of course, New Jersey, a lot of clout when it comes to that team. And speaking of clout and making the country look great, our man Kyle Chazowski joining us now from Team Canada. 5'4", 1 inch shorter than Tim Kirchen. Kyle, congrats. Listen, as a fellow Canadian, you're doing a great job representing our home country. 2-0 for the first time since 1998. A great showing so far for Canada. How proud are you to be representing this team?
Oh, it's amazing here. I mean, the experience, all the fans here, it's awesome. And be able to represent Canada this well, it's awesome. And I'm really excited to play tomorrow against Japan.
Kyle, what's it like playing on a field like this, that's this beautiful and this so perfectly kept?
I mean, it's insane setting so many people putting in work to set this field up for you guys. And, you know, when I play on this field, it's just looking around. I'm up in right field, and I can see the whole field, and it's awesome to look at it. And I look around up in the stands. There's so many people here watching you, cheering you on, and it's such a great experience here.
So Dan Shulman, of course, fellow Canadian, he and I were discussing why is it the teams from Canada, because Dan and I are both from Toronto. Obviously, Ontario and BC, for some of the Americans, don't realize the geography, a little further apart than they realize. But the fact, yes, you still live in Canada, unlike me, although I get back 2 or 3 times a year whenever I can.
Yeah.
But the fact that why are there always teams from British Columbia representing Canada? And Dan and I were thinking maybe because it's a little bit more temperate in BC, winters aren't as harsh as the rest of Canada. Why do you think it's always a BC team that represents Canada?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not positive. I mean, a lot of my friends have older brothers who would play in this. Someone on our team, his name's Lachlan Scardina. His brother lost in the national finals. And it seems like every year BC always brings a good team to nationals. And I'm not sure why, but I think maybe it's just competition down there. It seems like everyone knows that BC's good, and a lot of people train like long times because they know that they're going to face good competition in provincials in BC. And
how long are you playing baseball in BC? Does it go from May until September? Or?
Yeah, around there. I mean, we have house league that starts in around start of April-ish, and we have like a bunch of practices for like all-stars and stuff because we know there's going to be a lot of tough competition to get to Williamsport.
Bunt there as the sacrifice works. That was from Cody Bryan.
Beautiful play with the bare hand there. It's the only way he gets him at first. Kyle, your dad is a former NHL player. Your uncle is a former NHL player. And you love hockey also. So compare your love of baseball compared to your love of hockey.
Well, I mean, baseball, I love playing it. It's awesome. It's not my main sport. But I kind of like that too because I can just have fun out there. And I mean, hockey, I love to focus on it like most of the year. But playing baseball is so fun for me. I mean, it's just awesome to be with my friends, you know, just having fun out there. And I know it's not my main sport, so I can just have a blast out there, and whatever happens, happens.
It's one thing to love hockey, as all Canadians do, but the fact that you've also got family lineage. Your dad and your uncle both played the National Hockey League. How cool is that?
It's awesome. I mean, I have people here, and we had nationals down in Medicine Hat, and my cousin actually plays for Medicine Hat Tigers, which is a WHL team.
Medicine Hat, Alberta, for those wondering the geography.
And they're all like, "Oh yeah, so you're a hockey kid?" I'm like, "Yeah, my dad played hockey, my uncle." It's just, it's really cool.
Kyle,
right here.
What part of hockey makes you a better baseball player? What part of hockey playing that game can you use to make you a better baseball player?
I think definitely competing hard, and you know, when I'm playing hockey, every shift I'm trying my hardest, and out here I like to compete, and I think that kind of helps out when I'm hitting. You know, just wanting to hit that ball as hard as I can, and I think that helps out. Fielding too, wanting to get to every ball.
I can hear the Canadian accent now that I'm in America. I love it. It's always in the OUTs. When I first came to America, I said, Canadians don't have an accent. Then when we say out, about, it comes out a little bit.
So what have you learned from your uncle and your dad about the competition and about doing the best you can? What have they told you about what athletics is all about?
They just told me play my game, and you know, there's a lot of good hockey players out there, a lot of good baseball players out there, and they just said if you play how you can play, you know, and you just compete out there, you can do well. And you know, if you keep training and if you have a passion for the sport, you can do well in it.
Yeah, you'll see Canadian baseball players. They used to always say about Larry Walker from Maple Ridge, BC. Plays with a hockey player's mentality, you know, all out, give that kind of effort, and that's the kind of work ethic, right? You see sometimes from hockey to baseball that you're willing to just go the extra mile, so to speak. Play very physically.
Yeah.
A nice play there made by the second baseman. Liam Padovic making the diving stop and the putout. So, going to take a replay of that. A fantastic play by number 2, Liam Padovic. Does score a run, but a really nice play there. Slick play.
Let's see if this is worth reviewing. This is really close.
Got him by a step, it looks like, but you're right, Tim. The initial grab was quick, but took him just a beat or two to get the ball in the glove and to recover, understandably.
I think he's out.
Yeah. Bang, bang play, as they would say, but definitely some good hustle down the line. The umpires are taking a look right now, so we'll wait and see.
Okay, Kyle, back to baseball and hockey. What about the skills required to play baseball help you as a hockey player?
I think definitely like hitting, hand-eye, and you know, quickness. I'm always running around. Like when I play outfield, you got to cover a lot of space, and I think I can really get more speed out there, and I think it helps out in hockey as well.
I'm pretty sure you're probably not a coffee drinker as of yet, but how about your favorite Timbit from Tim Hortons?
Okay. I'll probably go.
He is out. So that is the play there. So nice play there made by the second baseman.
I'll probably go with the honey cruller donut and Timbit.
What about maple dip? Fantastic.
Oh, it's delicious.
Maple, always huge in Canada. It's just you can't go wrong. But
yeah.
The honey cruller, an excellent choice as well, Kyle. We'll get a Tim Hortons stand down here once in a while. You guys keep on winning. How about big game against Japan, of course, coming up tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern. What have your coaches been saying about that one?
They're really proud of us. You know, we've been this whole summer we've been spending, you know, trying to get to this moment right here. And Japan's a really good team, but our coach just says if we play our game, he'll be proud. And we're a really good team, like defensively and offensively. If we just play our game, he thinks we could beat Japan, and I don't see why we can't. I mean, we have really good pitching and hitting, and if we just play our game, I think we'll be good.
Kyle, what did you think of the Cardinals-Pirates game the other night? What was that like for you to go to a Major League game and be that close to it?
It was awesome. I mean, it's like you're in Williamsport and you're watching an MLB game, and they got the new jerseys, and I mean, you're this close to the action right up front. It was awesome watching.
Nice pitch there from Tom Stanczyk. The strike at the end into the bottom of the fourth. Kyle Chazowski's doing such a great job. He's going to hang out with us a little bit longer. Tell us about Team Canada's journey as we head to the bottom of the fourth here at From Lumley. As we continue alongside Tim Kirkton and Matt Danver, greetings from beautiful British Columbia in Canada. They're on the west coast, and BC has such gorgeous, of course, around the Pacific Ocean, the bridges, the hills. There's no more aesthetically pleasing city in Canada. Everybody that goes there is always awestruck by the natural beauty there, whether it's Vancouver or Victoria or Kelowna or Kamloops. It's all fabulous when you're there, especially if you are from Canada, as Kyle Chazowski is, and joining us right now in the booth. You still live in Canada, unlike me. Who are you closest to on the team? Because obviously you guys are a really tight-knit family, but who are you closest to?
I'd have to say Lachlan Scardina. You know, me and him have been great friends our whole lives, and our brothers are the same age. And he used to play hockey, and we would play together. And you know, me and him have been really close, and it's awesome to spend the Little League World Series with him here, and it's an awesome journey.
Odubel Herrera is your favorite player.
Yes, he
outfielder
is.
For the Phillies. Where does that come from?
You know, I like how he plays. I like the passion he has for the sport, and I like his batting stance. I like him out in the outfield watching him play. He's a good all-around player.
Oh, he is, absolutely.
Normally we're expecting, you know, Joey Votto or any of these, Justin Morneau. We get a few here, okay, but I like the way to go with Herrera, something different. Base it there into left. As we're here in the bottom of the fourth, and Australia has their leadoff runner aboard.
Now, Kyle, I read your bio, and you had in there, I hope I say this right, that the chicks really dig your hair. I mean, the same thing happens with Adnan, I know that. But explain that. Can we take a look at your hair? Can you take your hat off and show us how cool what you're rocking there?
Yeah, take the headset off. I got you, bro. All right, so here's Kyle's hair. Yeah, it's in the bio. Chicks really dig his hair. I can't dispute that, Tim, now that we see it.
All right, we've seen it. Now let him explain it.
Now that we've seen his flowing locks. But Bryce Harper.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like hockey hair, sort of. I mean, that's what my team says. They say, yo, you can't cut the hair. All the girls love it. And like all my friends will be saying, I love your hair. Like the flow back here, that's what they call it.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Got the flow going.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Clearly you got swag, you got flow, so I think you're destined to be a star, Kyle.
What's it been like with all the emails and everything else you've gotten from home? What's the reaction been like from all the people who aren't here?
Oh, it's priceless. I mean, I got people from my school who, I mean, I barely even talk to throughout the year, and they're all like, man, you're playing great out there. Keep it up. I mean, represent Canada so well, and it's awesome hearing that. And I got my family and friends back home who are cheering me on, you know, sending me videos of them at their house watching the game on the TV, and it's awesome to see all that support from back home.
Let's play.
Canada once again playing Japan tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern. You'll see Kyle in his teammates there. It's been awesome to see that everybody gets a chance to play a different position. Kyle, do you have a favorite position?
I like playing catcher. I like right field out there. I like playing outfield because you got a lot of space to cover. So, I mean, it's fun. And I used to play catcher, but, I mean, we have a great catcher, Mateo Manzi. I mean, he's unstoppable back there. But I love playing right field. It's awesome.
A hockey player who loves to catch. It's very symmetrical, isn't it?
About to say, if you're a hockey goalie, then of course, it makes perfect sense you'd like catching as well. In hockey, do you play goal?
No, I'm a centerman.
All right, all over the place. I like to hear it. Kyle, because he is doing such a good job with us here in the booth, is going to read the promo here momentarily just to show his skills as a future broadcaster for ESPN. Once you're done being a professional athlete, I know you're going to be in the NHL like your dad and your uncle, but just another career option here for you. The 2-2 count. Whoa. Marcus Phillips on the mound right now as he came in the bottom of the third at the wild pitch, which allowed a run to score, but then struck out the next batter.
Kyle, when you're facing someone like Marcus, who's throwing roughly 75 miles an hour, explain what that at bat is like.
You know.
Nice catch there made by the center fielder Griffin Wild as the runner does advance to third.
I just like to get the bat on the ball, and you know, you got to load early, just get back in the box, and if he throws you a fastball in the strike zone, I mean, you just got to throw your bat out there, and good stuff will happen.
Have you faced anybody who throws harder than, say, 75 miles an hour?
Yeah, we have. At the start of the season, we faced an American team who actually won that Cal Ripken World Series.
Oh, wow.
And he was throwing like 78. And, I mean, it's really tough facing them, and especially when they're taller, so they look pretty tough to hit. But, I mean, I just feel like if you just load early and, you know, you just throw your bat out there, good stuff happens.
Tell me about Chase Marshall. Me and Tim got to meet him earlier in the week. Hit a home run, obviously, for Canada in the first game.
Oh, he's amazing. I mean, he's such a great person off the field and on the field, and he's a nice guy, and he's such a great player, and he's such a strong kid too. He can hit the ball from any part of the plate. I mean, curveball, fastball. He can get on that pitch all the time. It's insane, and I think he's just a really good player. He's a great pitcher for us. He can pitch really well, and. So, yeah.
Strikeout there for Marcus Phillips, and now it is Kyle's turn. Go ahead. It's all yours, pal.
All right. So, after our Tuesday night baseball game tonight between the Rangers and Angels, catch SportsCenter at night with John Anderson and Nicole Briscoe. They'll have all the best from the Little Leaguers, Major Leaguers, NFL news, the latest from the Mayweather-McGregor fight, and everything else. SportsCenter at night, also streaming live on the ESPN app.
My man, Kyle getting it done.
And he's better than both of us.
Better than me, definitely not better than Tim. Great stuff from Kyle Sosowski joining us right now from Team Canada. 2-0 for the first time since 1998. We showed the graphic earlier of famous Canadians, Major League players. Of course, Fergie Jenkins, pitcher for the Cubs. He's in the Hall of Fame. Larry Walker, Joey Votto. Of those Canadian players, is there one that particular favorite for you?
I like Joey Votto. I think he's an unbelievable hitter, and I like him. I like watching him.
Always so polished the plate, on base percentage, slugging percentage.
What major leaguer did you get to meet the other day, and what was that like?
Well, our game was kind of like right when the major leaguers showed up, so we didn't really see any. I'm not sure who came down, but we did see. We did get to meet Matt Carpenter when we were on your show.
Yes.
And that was awesome. I mean, I couldn't believe he came up and started talking with us. But, I mean, even I was out in right field and I turned around and I see a bunch of fans behind me. And it's like McCutchen there walking and like just so many of the Pittsburgh Pirates players. I'm like, oh my God, look behind me. And they're all in the stands with all the players and there's cameras on them and it was so cool.
We had no idea Matt Carpenter was going to be there. Tim had no idea. It was me, him, and David Ross, and then we're talking to you and your teammates, and we're like, hey, Matt Carpenter showed up.
And what was it like playing a Little League game knowing that Andrew McCutchen and the Pittsburgh Pirates are in the stands watching you play?
It was so cool, and they're like all right there in the stands, and it's great that we won, too. I mean, I'd say they're a good luck charm. I mean, yeah.
Seriously, they can hang around a little bit longer then. Phillips started a little wild as the runner advances from first to second after the 6th run of the game for Australia was scored at E4, so no RBI there.
Have you been down the hill?
No, I haven't, not yet. I mean,
is that like a safety thing, a danger thing? Coach?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, not a fan of getting all dirty and stuff.
I was going to say, it goes back to the hair again. It's going to mess up the hair. You've got a certain flow going. I'm with you, Kyle. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that can get a little grimy.
Yeah.
It's muddier, especially when you're pouring water down there. Makes the ride a little more slick.
How long did it take you guys to get from where you are to Williamsport? It must have been a long trip.
It was about a 5-hour plane ride to Toronto, and then another like 2-hour plane ride to Newark, and about a 3.5 bus drive down to Williamsport, but it was worth it.
It was worth it having you in the booth as well. Kyle Chizowski, tremendous job, man. Great job for Team Canada so far.
Way to go.
Good luck against Japan, as they'll be in action Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern. Kyle is not going to be doing that, but we'll be rolling on with more action from the consolation game, Australia, South Dakota, after this. Let's take a look at the Honda game summary coming to you from Lombardy Field. That's right, Cole Buck, 60 pieces of gum chewed, 1 foul ball that I caught or retrieved is probably the better way to put it. And the great Tim Kirchen, shorter than 114 Little League World Series players. But of course, we're always looking at quality, not quantity, when it comes to Tim.
Was that really necessary, Adnan, for someone to do that kind of research?
Ambushing you on that kind of material. Well, how many total people? Out of the 114, I think we have about 214. So you're, in terms of percentile, you're right around the halfway point, Tim.
I did the radio the other day, and Kevin Winter asked me, are there 6 or 7 kids taller than you? I said there's 6 or 7 per team taller than me.
Speaking of, Hunter Ditzworth is here from Texas, 5'11", 6 inches taller than Tim, and Blake Slaga as well. Thanks so much for coming by here in the booth, guys. Blake, I'll start with you. What's it been like for the journey here coming from Texas to Williamsport?
It's been fun. It was fun playing to get here, and the first game we had, it was fun to play it. It was exciting getting to see all the people here.
Right, and Hunter, what's it been like for you, the whole experience, playing a game, meeting major leaguers and everything else? What's it been like for you?
It's been fun. We've been winning, so it's been fun. We met a bunch of new friends from Japan and everywhere, and I've had a great time.
Yeah, winning always makes it a lot more fun as well. Blake, what's it been like playing on this field here? You know, for us, we come here and we just are taken away by how beautiful it is, but how is it for you playing on it?
It's a good field. It's better than our fields in Lufkin. The ones we play on in Lufkin, there's so many, get so many bad hops. This field is nice and smooth.
Nice play there by the shortstop, Harrison Wielden, to block the ball as the runner does reach.
Hunter, you were saying you met some of the kids from Japan. How do you communicate with the kids from Japan when you guys don't speak the same language?
Well, some of them speak English, and then we have Google Translate too, so we use Google Translate a lot.
Could you explain to Adnan, who doesn't know anything, what Google Translate is?
I mean, you just...
got my phone. Go ahead.
Love it. You just type something and then it'll just change the language.
Yeah, you gotta.
So I would go to Google, type in whatever, and it would just tell me.
Well, you have to type in Google Translate.
I got you. So that's the one nuance we're missing. Not just Google Translate. So whatever you want to do, it spits out whatever language you want.
Now, Blake, help me with this. I'm 60. I can't do anything anymore. Explain how I can get my ESPN app over onto this side. Can you do that for me? What?
This is what it's laughing about. This is what it's come to. We got a couple little leaguers here.
It takes tremendous skill to do this. You just got to kind of drag it over. I don't know how to do that. While he's doing this, Hunter, did you get to meet any major leaguers the other day, and what was that like?
Yes, sir. I got to meet a bunch. It was really fun. I met Dexter Fowler, and I got an autograph and some pictures, and I think it was really cool.
Blake, have you fixed that for me yet?
No, sir. I don't know how to get it over.
It's a little bit tricky. All right. We'll let Adnan do it a little bit later.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
But Blake, who have you met so far, major leaguers, and what was that like?
I met Randall Grichuk and Dexter Fowler. That was pretty cool. I got them to sign some baseball cards and a baseball. I got one of Randall's batting gloves, too. He signed it for me.
Cool. And what did you talk to them about, Blake? What was that conversation like?
Just, we talked about coming from Texas a lot because he's from Texas too. We just had a little conversation.
Good question. Well, for Texas, I mean, what do you think has been the key so far to your success here?
I mean, everything. We've played great defense. We've hit the ball good, and we've had great pitching too.
No question. And definitely, the teams from Texas we always know are going to be strong and formidable, and just like teams from California, so far you guys have been great so far. Have you had a chance to watch much of today's game, South Dakota, Australia at all?
We watched a little bit.
Yeah. What have you noticed? I mean, obviously you're focused on the own team in hand here, but Blake, have you noticed anything else by watching other teams? Not that you're doing any scouting, but what have you seen when you're watching the other Little League teams playing?
I've seen good teams play. I mean, we've only watched a couple games because our coach doesn't let us come down here unless we're with our parents or the team. So we've probably seen like just 2 games.
Right. Focusing on your task at hand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's the deal with this? You guys are not allowed to go swimming while you're here. Hunter, explain that.
I mean, our coach just doesn't want us to get hurt or anything, and he's like, I don't know, he wants to protect us and make sure we'll be ready for the games.
Blake, is that right? Are you okay with not being allowed to swim here?
Well, it'd be more fun to swim, but it's not the worst thing.
Now that is a very diplomatic answer. Good job out of you, Blake. Not going to get in trouble with the coach, but still being honest to what Tim's question is. It'd be nice to get in the pool. Well, the good news is hopefully if Texas goes all the way, you guys, coach will let you swim as much as you want. That'll be part of your reward you can celebrate. Strike through there. Good pitch there by Tom Stanzik. So with runners up first and second, gets the first out of the inning for Stanzik. That's his 7th strikeout so far. Here's the bracket right now. So as Blake and Hunter were talking about, the teams from Lufkin, Texas, taking on Greenville, North Carolina tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Tonight, it's going to be the team from Jackson, New Jersey, facing the club from Fairfield, Connecticut, and then the winners there will advance to Thursday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. What has Coach been saying, Hunter, in terms of the approach in tomorrow's game? What's going to be the key?
He just said we have to keep playing how we've been playing, just keep hitting the ball, keep pitching good and playing defense, and he thinks we'll be okay.
And speaking of hitting the ball, that has been a really tough task. Blake, how crazy it is North Carolina, the team you're facing, they had a perfect game in the first game and then a no-hitter in the second.
It's pretty, I mean, we can hit the ball off of them. We just got to go up there and just swing at strikes.
Yeah.
Hunter, you're really good with that glove. Did you name your glove?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you explain that story, please?
I don't know. Her name's Bree. I don't know. I love her. She goes everywhere I go. I buckle her up in the car. I do everything with her.
So you really take care of that to protect it, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And what's the name again?
Bree.
B-R-E-E?
Yes, sir.
Bree. Is it short for Brianna or it's just Bree?
It's just Bree.
I got you. Nice play there by Stephen Courtney. Almost was able to get the runner at third, but instead it's now bases loaded with one away.
So would you let me put your glove on, or are you not allowed to put a foreign hand in there? Major leaguers will not let you touch their game glove under any circumstance.
He doesn't let anybody on the team touch it.
Wow.
Nobody puts it on their hand.
Very cool.
You and Bree. I love it. Well, if it's working for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, Hunter, listen, I know you're modest, but everyone's saying you're one of the best players here. Not only can you throw gas, but you also hit a home run. Tell me about hitting a home run here at Williamsport. What was that like?
I mean, it was great. I've always wanted to get here, and getting here was amazing, but doing good here has been cool too. And just hitting a home run was great. I really couldn't believe it.
Hunter, you're how big, how tall, and how much do you weigh?
5'11", 154, I think.
What grade do you think you were in when you were my height? Like 3rd grade?
Sure, I guess.
Take us through this home run, Hunter. What does it feel like to hit a home run and run the bases on TV in the Little League World Series?
I mean, it felt amazing. I couldn't believe I hit it, and then I didn't realize what was happening until I got in the dugout.
And Blake, when you're out there, does it ever cross your mind that we're on TV playing at the Little League World Series?
I don't think about it. I just try to focus on the game.
Okay. Safe.
The call there, they wanted to double check. It is indeed safe despite the challenge there from Team Australia. Yeah, you guys have the right approach, which is just focus on the game right now, and afterwards we can think about the fact we were on national television. And what advice have your parents been given, other family members? Are they here? What have they been telling you?
My dad, he always talks to me after the games. He says that I'm doing good, just keep doing what I'm doing.
Keep doing what they're doing here. The base hit into right as Tyler Spiteri a little trouble fielding that, and that'll score a couple of runs. The go-ahead runs here for South Dakota. They now lead at 7-6.
Again, and another great piece of hitting there. That ball's away from him. Instead of trying to pull it, he goes with it, hits it down the right field line.
Yeah, we've seen some good inside-out swings, and like you said, not trying to do too much with it, but the solid base hit. Let's take a listen to what the coach is saying right now.
Keep your velocity up and you're going good, all right? Keep working for me, yeah? Keep working.
Chris Swan is the manager. Quick little pickpocket there, known as Swanee. He owed last year's team an Xbox for making it to Williamsport, but he never paid up. This year he offered the same promise, but again, doesn't plan on paying up. Jokingly said, why change something that works? Imagine that Blake coach says, listen, if we make it, we're getting you an Xbox, and then he doesn't do it. And the next year he doesn't do it either. How would you react?
I would be mad. I mean, I like playing video games.
Hunter, how about you? How would you react?
I wouldn't be too happy.
Blake, what's the reaction been like from home? Texts and everything else from all your friends back home?
My grandparents, they've been texting me a lot. They've been saying that they love me and they've been rooting for me. They've been glad to see me play on TV.
And Hunter, what about you? What kind of reaction are you getting from home?
It just feels like the whole town of Lufkin's been texting us, like just telling us how great we've been doing and stuff like that. Oh.
Oh. 2-2 count here to tie, not Gaborin. And we've been, of course, giving some of these little leaguers a chance to strike out there. A big strikeout for the pitcher, Tom Stanzik, have that nice pep talk there from Swanee. That's, in fact, his 8th strikeout. So he has been a horse here for Australia in the consolation game. Blake, it is now your opportunity to tell us what's coming up.
Catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including scores, stats, highlights, and more. Visit LLWS17.org or follow along on social media with hashtag LLWS.
Well done. Thank you, Blake. Good to have everybody trying their hand when it comes to being future broadcasters. Once, of course, you guys are done playing in the major leagues. Logan Boom, the number 9 hitter's up right now with runners on 2nd and 3rd.
And Hunter, living in Lufkin, Texas, who's your favorite major league player?
Matt Sanduli with the catch, yes.
Probably Brandon Bell.
Yes. Matt Sanduli, he's our coordinating producer. He is our boss here at the Little League World Series. Matty with a big grab. And the nice pitch there on the outside from Stanzik, another strikeout. Thank you so much to Blake Slaga and Hunter Ditzworth. You guys did great. You're doing fantastic on the mound for Texas. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks so much for joining us, all right? The team from Lufkin, Texas, you'll see them in action tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern. Sanduli, though, check out the hands on Matty.
The Little League World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, owner of Dick's Team Sports HQ, the official free league technology provider of Little League.
Another great day here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. It's the consolation game between Australia and South Dakota. Another beautiful day here at Lamedy Field. Alongside Tim Kirchen, I'm Adnan Burke. It's 7-6 right now for South Dakota as we're heading into the bottom of the 5th. This is the first of 3 games on ESPN today. This is a consolation game. The other two games are elimination games, so it is win or move on. In Mexico, the pitching has been sensational. The last two games, they've given up one hit after that loss to Venezuela in game 1. So now the rematch in the elimination game, 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN in New Jersey and Connecticut at 7:30 Eastern. Also cannot wait for that.
And winning is important, but at this age, the idea is just to play as many games as possible. The experience you get just playing a Little League World Series game in front of these people on this field is unforgettable for these kids. So the more games, the better.
No doubt about it. Lachlan Boyarsky, who we mentioned off the top, favorite TV show is MASH. Says he was born in a different generation. People tell that to me all the time, Tim. I belonged in the 70s. Pacino, De Niro, Scorsese. Me and Lachlan are going to talk movies sometime. Cinephile, I'll get him on the podcast. It'll be great. But a good performance from both of these teams here. Talk about trying to end off on a winning note. Offenses have been strong, and Marcus Phillips in the mound, he is awfully fun to watch. In case you're just joining us, that'll happen sometimes. He throws with such velocity. It's about 71, 72 miles an hour. With the distance, you equate that, that's about 92 in the Major League game. And as Tim has been mentioning, and it bears repeating, give credit to these kids. They're fearless stepping in here against the likes of him. Working a walk here.
Sullivan gives up at least 70 pounds to the pitcher here. And again, he stands right on top of the plate and sticks his face right in there. It's very impressive.
So Boyarsky there working a walk. So, you know, the player favorites here, it's been a ton of fun asking these players who their favorites are. So players, Bryce Harper, they love the Yankees. Adam Sandler, huge favorite of the kids. They love Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Shout out to Canada. The Benchwarmers, their favorite movie. Usain Bolt, who just stepped aside after his performance at track and field there in London. And Practical Jokers, a big TV show. So it's good to see the different generations here, Tim.
So the Benchwarmers rates where on yours, since you're our movie critic?
Yeah.
Is that a top 10 movie of all time for you somewhere?
Well, you know, I've got Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Godfather Trilogy, Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, Glengarry Glen Ross, and then sliding in at number 9 is The Benchwarmers.
Really?
Yeah. So right there in my top 10 movies of all time.
I was a little higher than I anticipated on your list.
4 Maple Leafs there. Check out Cinephile, the ESPN app, and on iTunes. You just see number 2, Trace Eastman right now. The center fielder, 2-0 count with a runner on second. Thanks to all the players who have joined us in the booth. Had players not only, as you just may have seen, from Texas, but also from Canada and also from North Carolina and Michigan. So it's been wonderful to not only have Tim in the booth here with me, but also have all these kids here as well. Liam Padovin, favorite basketball player, Steph Curry, 1-2 count. Strikeout there from Phillips. So for Phillips, that is his 4th strikeout of the game. I want to mention also Father of the Year, Tim Kirchin. He drove yesterday 4.5 hours to Cleveland to see his friend, son Jeff, who is as funny as Tim is. He sang the anthem, and then you stayed for an inning with your wife Kathy and drove back here because we had to call the game today.
Right, that was a great trip. And I don't want to be corny about this. This is as good as it gets for a dad. My son, in front of 30,000 people at a big league game last night, sang the national anthem, and he crushed it. He did God Bless America in the game before the All-Star break in Cleveland, brought tears to my eyes. Same thing happened last night. So that 4-hour and 30-minute ride home went real quickly last night, knowing how happy my son was at the job he did.
And I didn't want to put any pressure on you, but on the way there I said, Tim, you got to pull over. You got to enjoy the eclipse. Did you take a minute to put the glasses on and enjoy the solar eclipse?
I got there in time to do the solar eclipse, and it never really happened in Cleveland.
That is a buzzkill. Just too cloudy, I guess?
Yeah, it was cloudy, and we weren't exactly in the path. You know, Cleveland isn't exactly next to Oregon, so it was like much to do about nothing. So.
All right, well, wait another 100 years and we'll be fine. We can't wait for that experience. At least, did you at least have the glasses? You, Kathy, Jeff?
I was ready,
okay.
But I checked around, and they said nothing's happening here. So,
99-cent pair of sunglasses just for the eclipse. Normally a $400 pair of Oakleys. That's not going to work. If you look at the sun, you're risking permanent damage.
Yeah, if you're risking permanent damage, shouldn't the glasses cost more than 99 cents?
Correct. At your own peril. But congrats to your son, Jeff. He's a terrific guy. You can follow him on Twitter. Of course, he's a radio personality in Cleveland. He's now saying, God bless America and the national anthem. Hats off to you and Kathy. But that pitch lifted into center, and the two-players converging. And oh, no. Jack Gradell, Griffin Wild, and Bo Giblin all colliding as the runner will score, and Australia ties it up.
Well, thank goodness nobody got hurt here. That's one of those no-man lands pop-ups, and it's very impressive that all three of those kids had every intention of catching that ball. Somebody has to call it, but this is not a really easy ball to call, and boy, thank goodness it wasn't worse than that.
No, you're right. You could feel it, just that Bermuda Triangle, three players there converging, but you hear it at all levels. It's all about trying to call the pitch and call the play, and whoever it is, mine, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But thankfully, as you said, Tim, did not get any worse than that.
A couple of the scariest things I've ever seen on a baseball field are collisions between two outfielders, outfielder and an infielder, and thankfully we avoided it there.
Here's Leo Huners. His favorite food is bacon. Sure, he's in good company here.
His favorite actor is Adam Sandler, as are many kids here.
I beg your pardon. I was focusing on the team from South Dakota. This is Cody Bryan from Australia. But you're right. Probably also likes bacon and Adam Sandler, as I check the notes. Both the food and the actor that can transcend here. It just needs a word here with the coach for a second.
And then you hit the glove.
Now, this is a consolation game for both these teams, but a strong showing for each. I mean, the offenses have come to play as both South Dakota and Australia putting up 7 so far here in the bottom of the 5th.
You know, what I've really liked here is how aggressive these kids are. They're here to swing the bat, and I'm a little bit fearful with the whole on-base percentage thing in the big leagues that we have a lot of kids out there trying to draw a walk, which is not what we're here for. The idea is to learn how to swing the bat. The plate discipline will come later once you get a little bit older and you start to understand the strike zone. But if you're going up there trying not to swing, it's not going in the right direction. Go up there ready to hack, and then we'll figure out when to swing and when not to swing.
Once David Ross and I figured out what stadium to actually be in yesterday, that's the first thing we noticed, Tim. The pace of play is great. They get it and they chuck it. As Caden Ireland here working a walk. But you're right, there's no dilly-dallying. Guys are going up there looking to hack and get a base hit, and it's certainly refreshing because these games are not only entertaining but move at a great pace.
Right, and Marcus Phillips a little frustrated, having a little trouble finding the strike zone now. He's just got to focus in and throw a few more strikes.
Ethan Treble now, who is 3 for 3 so far today. He has been great for Australia. Started the game at first base. If Ethan can go 4 for 4 and see if he can give Australia the lead here in the bottom of the 5th. First one I've seen with favorite food of octopus.
Have you ever had octopus?
Can't say I have. You?
No.
I thought you were going to give me a test. Like, what is the plural of octopus? Octopi? Just leaving that one alone. I'll stick with the calamari. And 2-1 as that pitch catches the inside part of the plate. Outside the Lines, by the way, which is coming up just about a minute from now, is actually going to start on ESPN2. As this game will be going 6 innings, so we're a little bit more time here. So once again, if you're looking for the Gray Crew, Dave Sarosi, Bob Lee, and all the crew from OTL, you'll find them on ESPN2. The 3-1 to Treble. That one just a little bit low there from Marcus Phillips. So bases loaded now for Australia.
Marcus a little frustrated with the strike zone also. I think he thought he had a strike there.
And let's listen in. Once again, the managers and the coaches are Mike, so let's see what they're going to say here at the mound to Phillips and company.
Okay. Just slowing you down. That's it. Hey, no. Hey, guess what? I'm called to the ball, so here we go. Hey, now we just got to zone in. Hey, One pitch at a time, one play at a time. Now we go one pitch at a time. Okay, can't think of big picture. All right, infield, we're coming home to Cohen, right? Bases are loaded. Coming home to Cohen, home and 1. All right, we got this. Just settle down. We are okay. All right, make a play here, and let's get out of here and go hit some in, and let's go win this game in the 6th like we do. All right, let's go. Zone in, Marcus. Let's go, bud. One pitch at a time.
All right, one pitch at a time. So we'll see if Marcus Phillips can bear down. I thought for a second it might be a pitching change, Tim, but at least they're saying, you know what, work through this. This is what Little League is all about, right? Overcoming the challenge presented to you.
All right, and coach has got the infield in. They're going for the double play home to first, which of course you should do in a tie game in this inning.
Harrison wheeled in the batter, and that is fair down the third base line. One run will score. The hesitation there from the second runner, but he will score as well. And in fact, Wheeldon goes in with a stand-up triple as he empties the bases. A huge hit for number 16, Harrison Wheeldon, the shortstop, and Australia takes a 10-7 lead.
Well, Aaron Judge is his favorite player. And he knocks in 3 runs with a beautiful swing here. Bounces with the infield in here. Third baseman had no shot to get that. And again, play like that. It's where the ball is when it goes over the base. And it was clearly fair ball when it went over the base there.
Harrison Wheeldon, who the coaches say hits for average more than anything. He's very consistent, composed, and mature, and he delivers here. As the coaches say, he's known as Mr. Accessories. He has the game to match his looks. And now he's got a 3-run triple to give Australia the lead. And that is a base hit. He'll score another run. Australia now leads 11-7. As Stephen Courtney, who started the game pitching, now with an RBI single.
That's his second RBI single of this game. And again, when that infield's in like that, Adnan, aluminum bat, little field anyway, you're really on top of the home plate. That's not a comfortable feeling.
Oh.
Australia trying to add to their lead here now in the bottom of the 5th. And Marcus Phillips trying to bear down and see if we can get a couple more outs here. The 1-2 count. I mentioned Phillips. He throws hard, which we've mentioned. 71-74. Has a knuckleball that he hasn't thrown it much, but the coaches understand he may have to use it more often here. I don't think we've seen a knuckleball from Marcus Phillips yet, but he's trusting his speed here so far. Gets the batter to chase there, although the catcher can't make the play, and so the heads-up base running. No, he is called out, in fact, so 2 out here.
Of course, with less than 2 outs, first base occupied. If you don't catch third strike, you're out no matter what. Major leagues here.
Tyler Spiteri is retired there. Once again, if you're looking for outside the lines over on ESPN2, we're continuing with our game, the consolation game here on ESPN. Australia leading South Dakota 11-7 here in the bottom of the 5th. Tom Stanczyk, who's done a really good job pitching today. Struck out 8 at last check. Did not start the game, but really has been excellent for Australia since coming on in relief. He's got raw power, really strong, hits for power and average. See if we can get one more knock here.
Oh!
Just inside there from Phillips.
Favorite major leaguer, Clayton Kershaw. Good choice.
Kershaw due to be in a AAA game for the first time ever coming up, and then should be back with the Dodgers soon. That ball to second. Nice play there by Bo Giblin. Nice scoop, and the toss to Logan Boone for the 3rd out of the inning. Australia is 3 outs away from the victory. We'll see if South Dakota's bats can come alive in the top of the 6th. ESPN presented by Dick's Sporting Goods alongside Tim Kirchin and Adnan Burke. Thrilled to have you along here with us. Let's take a look at our top dog moments of the game, brought to you by Oscar Mayer Hot Dogs. So this was a chance where I didn't actually catch a ball, but I retrieved one. We also had kids here from North Carolina joining us in the booth. Earlier, Michigan. Chazowski, Kyle Chazowski's a stud from Canada. He's got great hair, and a couple of Texans here as well. You see Adrian, our stage manager, helping us out. And Matt Sanduli, who's our boss, he's the jefe overseeing all of this, and he actually caught the ball. That is the celebration, if you will. But people were asking to actually see a video of Matty. He made the catch.
He reached over and caught that. It was way more impressive than yours.
Mine was pathetic by comparison. Cody Bryan right now is in to try to close this out for Australia. They have a 4-run lead. Stanzik was excellent, by the way. 9 strikeouts for Australia after they had an early deficit on the 4 runs to South Dakota. The bunt to lead it off here. That's a play. You love a good bunt, Timmy.
Oh, my goodness. In the big leagues, we don't bunt very much anymore. That was absolutely textbook by a left-handed hitter. Instead of dragging it to the first base line, he just dumps it down the third base line. This is absolutely perfect.
There's the pitcher reaction here, like, come on, you're going to bunt on me? And then this happens?
We're 4 runs down. We got to get on base. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it's not like you're trying to break up a no-hitter. We're just trying to get, and another bunt back to back. Man, that is textbook. South Dakota playing a little small ball here with back-to-back bunt singles.
Hey, I'm totally okay with this. When you're down in a game, you got to get base runners, whatever works. And that's a beautiful bunt from a right-handed hitter down the third base line. Deadens that ball, just drops it.
Let's check out the defense now. It's not like they're cheating again for another bunt. They're playing back here. Because Marcus Phillips is up.
They're thinking, I hope Marcus Phillips, I hope we don't have to move in for him. He's 6'1".
Right, we'll take the bunt. Phillips is the pitcher throwing over 60 pitches. After Australia was able to take the lead, he'd love nothing more than right now make this a little tighter for South Dakota. Just off the plate, 2-1. The Australia coaches were saying, in terms of what they've been trying to teach the pitchers, they said just keep it simple. Most of the pitchers just feature the fastball change, which you see at this age group. You see a little bit of tinkering with the off-speed stuff, but the Australia team focusing. And Phillips with a nice smack in the center. You heard Tim appreciate that, but Stephen Courtney makes the catch.
You can't hit it much harder than that.
Yeah, fearless at the plate and in the field when you see a ball screaming at you like that. Good play there by Stephen Courtney, who started the game as a pitcher for Australia. So that'll bring up Ethan Bruns, the third baseman. Hit by a pitch back in the first, also worked a walk in the fifth. Cody Bryan painting the corner, 0-2.
This is really impressive. Cody Bryan's first 2 pitches here. Can't let anybody else get on base. You don't want this to escalate. Throw some strikes.
Bruns, a quiet kid, but so determined. Determined here to try to inch South Dakota closer to Australia.
He's worked these last 2 big hitters at in away, 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 thinking, well, we don't want him to pull it, because if he pulls it, it may get out of here.
Yeah, we get seen in some of these games the tendency for the ball to fly out of here, but no home runs so far today, despite 18 runs being put up through 5 1/3. The full count to Bruns. And that in the walk, so he works a walk. Bases loaded now for South Dakota.
Well, tying run comes to the plate.
maybe consolation games, but you can definitely feel the drama here at Lamade Field. And these teams want to have a positive note, want to be able to pass this on to either the team that returns next year, or even if they happen to be the ones returning, want to go out here a winner. Just fouled off, 0-2.
Switch him up, switch him up.
Mason Riley up, who's 0 for 2. His favorite TV show, America's Got Talent. See if he can deliver here. Talented young man with the bases loaded. Oh, and a nice pitch there by Cody Bryant, Tim, on the outside corner.
Right, he started that at bat, working him in a little bit, then he went away. And the last two pitches, one was a foul ball, the other was... That was beautiful.
Really good pitching here from Cody Bryant. Jack Radell now with the bases loaded. Australia is just 1 out away, and Radell has been great today, 3 for 3.
Ball.
2-0 count. All 3 singles, a couple of RBI, a run.
That was coming up our way. I
was going to say, we almost had a chance.
I'm the only one in the booth that hadn't caught one today.
Exactly. Timmy K needs one before we say goodbye. A couple more games coming up here from Williamsport. Elimination games at 3 o'clock Eastern and 7:30 Eastern. This is the consolation game between South Dakota and Australia. No team traveled further than Australia to come to this point. Second consecutive appearance for Hills Little League. They're 1 out away from a win. That pitch over to the second baseman, Liam Padovin, and Australia pulls off the victory. With the bases loaded, Radell does not go 4 for 4 as a soft little pop up there, Padovin, and Australia goes out a winner, 11-7 over South Dakota. Congrats to the team that traveled 9,793 miles from Sydney to Williamsport. The Aussies come through 11-7.
It's going to make that 7,900-mile trip home a little bit better, knowing they won a game at the Little League World Series.
Last year's Hills Little League team won 2 games in the Little League World Series. They were the first Australian team with multiple wins in a single Little League World Series. This time they prevailed in the consolation game against South Dakota, but credit to South Dakota Little League as well in its first year of existence. And they came through with a strong performance today. The offense certainly was there, and it was just Australia in the bottom of the 5th that was able to pull away with their bats. Terrific crowd here on hand, saluting all these young Little Leaguers. We'll be back with plenty more as we continue. The Aussies over South Dakota, 11-7 from Lamade Field here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
And the hill and the thrill and all that stuff that's going on.
I can't think of why you wouldn't play sports. Teamwork, exercise, having fun. Everyone can play. It doesn't matter if you speak Spanish, French, Italian.
Se siente como un orgullo, un sueño que no lo tiene cualquiera. Y por eso estamos aquí a echarle todo.
One of our favorite things, I think, here every year is the cultural differences between all of the different teams.
I think it teaches you more than just stuff from a physical standpoint. It also teaches you life lessons, self-discipline, knowing what to do, preparing yourself ahead of time, and never giving up. That's something I'll carry for the rest of my life.
Take a look at why sports matter, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Australia the winner over South Dakota. And now it's time to pose and profile, and as Tim Kirkton said, it'll make the journey back to Australia just a little bit easier knowing that you're going out on a winning note. I'm Adnan Burke as we're finishing up shop here. You know, we love Tim on the Dan Le Batard show, but they call him Tom. Allison Turner, Mike Ryan, they're both texting me asking how tall I am, and I said, why? And they said, well, Dan was watching you and Tim and said, boy, the players seem really tall this year.
Well, we've made it clear now through our research department that well over half the players here are taller than me, which, again, isn't saying very much. But what I love so much about this is we do have some huge kids here. Yeah. And yet last night, as you know, a 4'8" kid got a game-winning hit off the 4'8" pitcher, proving again one of the beauties of this sport is it's open to all shapes and sizes as long as you have the skills to play this game. And to see a 165-pound pitcher throw into an 80-pound batter and he's staying in there and taking good hacks, that's what this stuff is all about from a competitive standpoint.
We also have to clear up the whole issue of the emoji, because somebody did tweet me that how come when we first came on, your graphic just had a question mark. Mine's, of course, had a Canadian flag since I'm Canadian. And it goes back to your deficiency when it comes to emojis? Is that a fair way of putting it?
Well, I think I just stink at technology. That's all there is to it. I really have trouble with my cell phone and virtually everything else. Fortunately, when my son Jeff comes home, he fixes everything. I asked some of the kids to help me with things today. But I didn't even know what an emoji was until this time last year, and on the air one of the kids kind of showed me how to use it. So next thing is I don't know, a meme. Is that what we were talking about today?
There's some emoji options for you. Listen, a hot dog's a good one, a baseball, I mean there's plenty of good ones there for you. So we'll hook Tom up there. See, you got like a bird in there.
Well, the baseball's good for me. If there's a basketball on there, that's good, but I'm not good at anything else, so that's it.
Got a terrapin in there as well. We'll send that one to Van Pelt. That's pretty good.
Well, I'll learn how to use a baseball emoji a little later today.
Tim was mentioning the fact that 4'8" kid was unbelievable. Dominican Republic and Venezuela, the two shortest guys here, a 4'8" pitcher and a 4'8" hitter, and that was the dramatic finale for that game last night, which was absolutely fantastic. In case you missed it, here it is.
Our matchup, Dominican Republic, Venezuela. This is an elimination game, a one-run game. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Base hit. We are in a weather delay. The tying run is on. The winning run is on for Venezuela. About as dramatic as a spot as you can get. To right field and deep and over the head of Trionfel. One run is in. Here comes another. Venezuela wins. Amazing. A 3-2 victory. The littlest guy in this tournament is the hero.
Great call there by Dave Fleming and Kyle Peterson as Venezuela pulls it out 3-2. Also, South Korea and Mexico. So Mexico's playing Venezuela today, Tim, at 3 o'clock. They lost that game. Ever since then, their pitching has been unbelievable. That's the only offense they would need.
Right. Both of these teams are so good. I'm absolutely dazzled, as I am every time I come here, with the precision play that some of these kids have. The infield play especially, how hard. I mean, that's a break ball right there on the outside part of the plate. That's difficult to master by age 12.
And so Mexico prevails with that pitching. South Korea, they're always so dominant. They're a juggernaut here at Little League World Series, and probably they are already out. So Canada and Japan on the international bracket, that's tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern, and Mexico, Venezuela is today. So the winners will then meet on Thursday at 3 o'clock. And the probables here, Isaac Miranda for Mexico and Johnny Rosario for Venezuela. Both these pitchers, as you can see, have been terrific.
Right, but it's really important to note, Adnan, when these kids aren't pitching, they are playing another position. And at this age, it's absolutely crucial to let these kids play all around the field. There's no telling when that light's going to go on and say, hey, I really like going behind the plate. I'm really good back here. And playing shortstop is going to make you a better pitcher. And being a pitcher is going to make you a better shortstop. Move around, play them all.
Definite democratic process here when it comes to everybody enjoying all parts of the defense. That's right, South Dakota grabbing some dirt on the way home. Get your souvenirs while you can. We'll focus on the U.S. side of the bracket when we come back. As we continue here alongside Tim Kirchin and Adnan Burke, finishing up shop after A nice victory for Australia, 11-7. They were successful. Let's get you caught up to date what's happening on the U.S. side of the bracket. New Jersey facing California, top of the second. It's R.J. Vashi taking Joey Gray deep to center and gone. A solo shot for Vashi, tied at 1. 2 batters later, it's Charlie Meglio taking Joey Gray deep to center. That's a 2-run home run. And then at the top of the third, 1 on, 1 out, it's Vashi again, this time off of Joey Gray. 2-run shot, second home run of the game. New Jersey wins it 12-9, eliminating California. They have hit 7 home runs so far in the Little League World Series.
Right, there's some similarities between this and the big leagues, some dominant pitching, but when you miss location, we get balls hit out of the ballpark.
Walla Walla taking on Connecticut last night in the nightcap. Once again had a rain delay which slowed things up a little bit, but nothing was slowing down the bats of the team from Fairfield, Connecticut, as representing New England with pride. The final out of the game as Fairfield, Connecticut does indeed move on. So a good performance in the nightcap from Lamedy, and now they'll get a chance to play again today. So here's how it looks now in the U.S. bracket. The team from Lufkin, Texas, we had a couple of those players join us here in the booth. They'll take on Greenville, North Carolina. They had a perfect game in the first game, a no-hitter the second time out. And then tonight, it's Jackson, New Jersey versus Fairfield, Connecticut. The winners will then move on. Can't talk enough about North Carolina. A perfect game and then a no-hitter, and they've got 3 guys who can deal.
Right, and Sunday night at the Major League game, I interviewed a bunch of the North Carolina kids, and they were having the time of their lives. They are so relaxed about all this, and that's in part because they're really good right now. They may be the team to beat in all this with this dominant pitching, and they got some guys that can hit it out of the ballpark.
And it's certainly interesting because no matter what, you find stars at all levels and stars that we don't know about. We come here, we don't know anything, and after a while, all we're doing is telling stories with these players that are as amazing as the major leaguers.
Right, and we got some kids in the booth today, and especially Kyle from Canada. My goodness, what a great kid. He knew exactly where he was and what he's doing. Tremendous.
Kyle Chizowski, a future star, and he'll be there for Canada as they take on Japan tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern. For Tim Kirchin, I'm Ad Namberg. Final score here in Williamsport, 11-7. Coming up at 3 Eastern, Mexico facing Venezuela in an elimination game. Right now, we take you to NFL Live. Australia over South Dakota. Congrats to the Aussies.